So there is your grid for Imola R6. Luke Mottram from Daniel Fields, Joe Wilson 3rd, Tommy Fowley 4th, Cream Horsford 5th, Brandon Fields 6th, and Leandro Brown 7th. Brandon Fields, I think that is a typo, and that should be Brandon Page. So as we have the drivers heading round to the grid now. You should all know where they're going. Going to get underway nice and quickly, get the race underway, get a slightly longer race. Now, if I'm not mistaken, 3rd in qualifying will be Joe Walk's best result this year. It is his rookie season. Taking full advantage of the absentees. So as the marshals head back up onto the gantry, race control will be starting the race. The red lights will come on, as you'll see on the digiboard. There we go. So red lights on, drivers getting ready, and there we go. Green lights, and away we go. As they head in through pylon into the blind spot, everybody emerges safe and sound. Joe Wilkes dropped a place into 4th. As they head down into pylon for the first time, we've got 3 drivers contesting there. They single file out as they head through pylon. Fields and Mottram now driving away as a contact warning goes out to kart number 10. Being, check my list, Cream Horsford. So at the moment it is Fields from Mottram as they head down now into pylon 1. Or Mottram having a little look, nowhere for him to get past just yet. Has a look up the inside into stadium. Warning goes out to kart number 5, contact warning for kart number 5, which is, let's have a quick look, contact warning will be kart number 5, that is Brandon Page in the back. There's the race leaders now, another gantry for the 3rd time. Page getting past Horsford there. Down the straight, surely. Fight for the lead still going on. Fields and Mottram. As Mottram has a look, Fields has just about got the legs on him. As they head into pylon now. Oh, Mottram. Just offline, didn't quite have the grip to stick it out. Can you have a look into hairpin 1? How are they going to manage this? Nothing doing this time. He tried something on the way out of hairpin 2 last time. Doesn't think about it this time though. Just tucks in, gets in the slipstream, closes the gap. Now he has a look. Doesn't quite have the legs. Daniel Fields, I think, slightly lighter. So coming out of the corners, you'll find he will drive away slightly, just by the nature of unballasted karting. Bumper to bumper into hairpin 1, quite literally. Marshals will be keeping a very close eye on that, make sure no one's gaining an advantage. And Mottram now needs to leave space. Oh, just about does, takes the lead. But Fields, up the inside, hits the curb hard. And has a look now up the inside. Manages to create himself a gap, but can't quite get past. Mottram now leading into stadium. So re-emerged the same way as they did, heading into hairpin 1. Oh, and a little nudge from Fields. No advantage as of yet. Mottram's going to have some more side-to-side contact. Mottram hitting the steering wheel in frustration as Fields drives past him down the straight. The rest of the pack slowly starting to space themselves out, apart from Brandon Page and Kareem Horsford. Well, very, very close, and actually Page has the run on him out of pylon 2, but I think Horsford's just got the legs down the straight. Go back to the lead here. Fields covering the inside line, but Mottram makes the most of having the racing line, gets past him nice and clean. Mottram seemed to be adjusting his seat as he came down the straight there. The warning goes out to kart number 4. Didn't quite see what for. Kart 4 is Daniel Fields, as I just have felt a spot of rain on my hands. Still very bright here. Might just be a spot of rain. I don't think it's affecting the drivers as of yet. As Mottram runs a little bit wide out of pylon 1. They head down underneath the bridge into stadium, into the blind spot where we can't quite see what's happening. They emerge in the same way as they did. So let's have a look further down the grid. So first and second, as we've Mottram is passed. So at the moment it is Mottram from Fields, and the next closest battle is Brandon Page and Kareem Horsford in the kart 10. We just go back to the lead now as potentially swapping over again. Mottram leaving plenty of room but covering the line. Fields trying to do the switchback. Can't quite carry enough speed into the first part of pylon, but squeezes his way past it as they enter the S's. And Horsford's back past Page now as well. Battle royale for the lead. Let's see what they can do. Mottram having a look up the inside into stadium. doesn't get past. In fact, has dropped back a bit. I wonder if he hit the curb a bit hard and has lost some momentum. In these karts, that is key, is carrying the speed for as much of the track as you humanly can. The less you have to lift off or touch the brakes, the better. Oh, as Horsford goes up the inside into pylon 1 on Page. Brandon using the curb at the S's. Not a lot of the drivers do that in corporate championships, but it's commonplace in the owner-driver races, which is very much his background, coming from cadet karting. It's kart 5 got a contact. As we look now into hairpin 1. It is indeed Brandon Page. The contact warning. Marshall will be keeping an eye on him now. Oh, and he can't quite get past him on the straight despite having a slightly better exit out of pylon 2. Let's just skip back to the race for the lead at that convenient position, where Fields is currently leading from Mottram. Luke Mottram in this one, of course, as I said earlier, brother Max. I think his brother, if not cousin. Or as they head up into stadium now, Mottram's got the momentum. But not quite enough this time. Ooh, and he has a little look up the inside, but Fields closes the door, leaves him nowhere to go. As they complete another lap. Fields leading. Unfortunately, because of where the sun is, I cannot see the scoreboard at all. So they head down now. Again, Mottram having a little look. ABC warning going out to kart number 10, who is Kareem Horsford. Presumably that was on Brandon Page, who's now fallen back a bit. It looks as though Horsford is duly obliging. Has slowed down. He's going to be letting Brandon back past. Quite a lot of ground because of that. I think he slowed down a bit too much. And as the leaders head down the back straight, bumper to bumper, nothing doing this time. Oh, Fields up the inside. Can he make that stick? Mottram now just getting past him as they duck behind the pit wall. Fields desperate to get back in the slipstream. A little bit of nose to tail. I don't know if he's going to get past. I don't know if it was enough to call it an ABC even. As they head onto the back straight now. Mottram leading. As we have a look at Brandon Page fighting with part number 6, which is Leandro Brown. Whereabouts in all of this has Joe Wilkes gone? Joe Wilkes, 4th position, behind the lead 2, and then got number, who have we got in 3rd? Got number 9 in 3rd, that's Tommy Fairley, and then Joe Wilkes in 4th. We've got a 3-car battle now as they head into hairpin 2. Fields looking over his shoulder. Oh, Fields, sorry. Brandon Page looking over his shoulder. Trying to be aware what's around him. Make sure he doesn't hit anybody. Covering his line. Ooh, and they head through the S's very, very close. The bright orange suit. Babs Motorsport. As they now head into stadium. One Page having a little look up the inside. Couldn't get my words out there. As the leaders complete another lap, Luke Mottram still leading the way from Daniel Fields, but they're very, very close. As are these three. So they head into hairpin 1. "17 minutes gone of the live stream, so it is of the race gone. So roughly halfway through now. Still Luke Mottram leading from Daniel. But let's go back to the lead. Into pylon 1. Go. Who can get the best exit onto the straight? Looks as though it's Mottram. Has been his forte, especially tonight. Does seem to have the legs on Fields going down that straight. As they emerge from stadium, a bit of a gap between them now, but only a second or so. Fields able to carry slightly more speed up to the apex of the corner. They're hairpin 1 at least. Joe Wilkes now catching 3rd place driver. The battle at the tail end of the field at the moment. We've only got 7 carts on the circuit. Very close again. Page and Horsford. Excuse me. Oh, and Page goes off. Don't know if there was contact there or not. The page spins at stadium, or pylon 1 even. So page rejoined. An ABC warning goes out to kart number 4. I give them a lap to give the position back, and that is to give the position, not even to lose the position. In kart 4, Daniel Fields, the ABC. I don't know if that was a technical glitch or not. That was definitely shown, and he hasn't conceded a place. He's still leading the race as the ABC goes out once again. I can only assume he will have to let him past his stadium or risk receiving a 30-second penalty. That really would nullify all the hard work he's put in this race. He still has not conceded. As the marshals signal for them to swap positions, it must have been an ABC on Mottram. ABC board now out for kart number 10, Kareem Horsford, who is slowed right down. I can only assume he knows who it was on and is still trying to wait. He's only been shown it once. And Daniel Fields still leading the race. Won't have conceded, or is he going to concede? No, he's not. So he'll be getting a come-in board this time as Horsford rather gets in the way there. On his fault, he's trying to let the driver pass that ABC is doing the right thing, he's just maybe not going about it quite the right way. And there we go, Horsford has now dealt with his ABCs, dealt with it properly. Fields is going to be getting a 30-second penalty for failure to give that position back. Marshall standing out on the bricks is going to have to get him. There we go. So that is Mottram now. Mottram takes the lead as he completes lap 27, or 28, sorry. And Joe Wilkes is going to take second place. Joe Wilkes up into second, Tommy Fairley third. Luke Mottram still sliding down the order. Fields still on the bricks. I was speaking to from the marshal. Ideally, the marshal lap down at this rate. There we go. He's going to get going, but Mottram gets past, puts him a lap down. So you have to say that is realistically... Actually no, the scoreboard registering Daniel Fields has 5th place. At the moment he's managed to just about get out ahead of Kareem and Brandon, who were a lap down. So we'll find race leader. Where is... There he is. Luke Mottram. Now with a commanding lead, unfortunately. Despite what a lot of drivers might think, we don't like giving out the warnings, but we do have to, and we have to make it fair. And if you've shown the ABC board more than twice, you will be given a penalty. It's just as simple as that. at the end of the day, the marshal's discretion is final. So first place Luke Mottram, second place now Tommy Fairley, and just about got past Joe Wilkes there. Joe Wilkes in third. His best result to date if he manages to keep that on for a podium finish. "31 laps completed. Second and third across the line. Oh, and just caught out the corner of my eye there in the battle between Kareem and Brandon. Kareem running very wide out of pylon 2, bouncing across the very, very rough runoff area. Oh, some contact on the way into the corner. I'm not sure what the marshals will see to that. He would have been, more contact coming out of the corner there. Although arguably that was under acceleration. So that contact you may find goes unpunished. Under acceleration, obviously, all of these drivers are expecting their compatriots to be accelerating at more or less the same time as they are. So when you're coming out of the corner like that, it's very, very rare that you will actually hit someone, especially in the dry. Daniel Fields there, still registering as 5th place. We'll be quite disappointed with that. But is just the 1 lap down as second and third come across. 3 who are on the lead lap at the moment. Everybody else is a lap down. Obviously Luke Mottram comes through, completes lap 34. As the marshal's ready and come inboard. Haven't seen why. Maybe a mechanical thing. It's Brandon. In he comes, Brandon Page, going to get a penalty. It's Joe Wilkes. Getting 30 seconds out of 40 minutes. Doesn't sound like a lot. Here at Right House, so getting a penalty can severely affect your race. In fact, now Brandon's going to be more or less a lap down on the battle he was in. So it's slightly more than a lap down. There's Kareem going past him. Have a look over his shoulder, wondering. Telling off as Brandon now leaves the bricks. Joe just dropping off of Tommy slightly now. Fatigue maybe starting to set in. Can't be too long left. And we have had 28 minutes of the stream so far. So we started the stream a minute or so early before the race. So let's find, where is, there is car 9, that is second place Tommy Fairley, and car, there, Joe Wilkes third place, so there's some time between them, bit of space, but Joe just driving cautiously, not making any mistakes, doesn't want to have a spin and potentially ruin the hard work he's put in so far, as Luke Mottram crosses the line.
Really?
Yeah, Live
So can you
stream.
search where he was bumping before?
Live. Yeah, I'll be on Facebook.
You can the whole race. Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh right. So you want to see with the bump? You might go one of the marshals.
Yeah.
Okay.
37 laps completed now. Daniel Fields up into 4th place. And is now closing in, despite being a lap down, is closing in on Luke Mottram. Now we'll have to keep a very close eye on that. Brandon Page crosses the line, completes another lap after his penalty earlier on. Unfortunately, there are only 7 cars on the track at the moment. They may have demoted him down to last. Brandon will be more or less unfazed by that, though. He's a very cool-headed driver, doesn't get annoyed very easily. Good, consistent pace. As they finish lap 39. Where is Luke Mottram? There he is. So 31 minutes in, these dry times exceedingly quick. 46.57 as he crosses the line there. We'll stick with Luke for a little while, just see how he navigates the circuit using all the track there and there. Keeps it down the left hand side down the straight to open up Stadium. Stadium is flat out in these cars. Hey, with a little lift about now to get it turned in, back on it, using the curb for elbow, runs out nice and wide into hairpin 1, cuts it in, gets on the curb again, holds the left hand side, tucks it in, and then runs out nice and wide over the bricks to finish the lap. Let's just see, it does. A lot of the drivers just use that first section of the flat curb, just as you say there, the pink and white area on the curb at Pylon. Just helps to open up that corner without using the curb. It is actually quite a sharp left corner. Whereas, of course, using the curb opens it up significantly. Let's zoom out a little bit there. Mottram with a little bit of playing with the throttle there as he comes in. Maybe the tyre temperature's dropping slightly as the track goes colder. It is actually quite chilly here today. I've got my coat on, try and keep me a bit warm. My hands are cold though. But it is dry, and that is the main thing. And Luke heads under gantry again for the 33 minutes into the stream, so probably 32 minutes into the race. There was not a long interlude, so maybe slightly more. Joe crosses the line to enter lap 44. Still in third place, Joe Wilkes. Second place, Tommy Fairley. First place, Luke Mottram, who is there, car 11. Daniel Fields in the number 4. To Joe in third, who is just entering hairpin 1 now. It's about half a lap or so, maybe 3/4 of a lap. Still only the top 3 on the lead lap now. Daniel Fields in 4th place. Unfortunately, I could only imagine screen at the moment. So I can imagine that after his penalty that Brandon Page may be 2 laps down. Kareem tucking in, trying to get in the slipstream. So after 46 laps, it is Mottram from Fairley from Wilkes. With 35 minutes gone of the race so far, so there cannot be long left. Drivers now will just be focused. Consolidating even what they have. No rash move. Safety first. For the next couple of minutes at least, even if after that it all goes slightly mad and they go for the crazy moves the last minute it usually brings. See Kareem just getting run out a little bit wide there by kart number 9. Cheers, Tommy Fairley, second place driver. Not racing for position there, just track position rather than grid position.
Access the race on Facebook. Can you access it then? The whole race is on Facebook.
Yeah, if you join the Rye House Drivers Club page,
yeah,
it'll be on there.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
You just join. You have to join it.
Yeah.
Right. And would you have to pay to join it? Or? Okay, and you just sign up and join it. And
Fine.
And qualify.
Just explaining there to Mr. Mottram how to join the Drivers Club page. As we follow Kareem in the middle of that group, Joe towards the back of that 4, just in the middle of the shot now. Still on for his best result, 3rd place finish. Speaking to Joe, we have a board out for the final lap So that will have been taken by Mottram last time under the gantry. The rest of the drivers will see it this time. Mottram there at hairpin 2 now. As I was saying, speaking to young Joe Wicks earlier on, he was saying he quite enjoys the wet conditions. It's a new challenge, and he likes getting a bit of a slide on coming out of some of the corners. Often he's slightly faster that way. As Mottram now comes under the gantry to take the checkered flag and wins, pumps the air. Fields takes it now under the gantry. So, as it stands currently, your leader, having taken the checker flag, was Luke Mottram, race winner. Second place is looking like it's going to be Tommy Fairley. And third place, his best result ever, first ever podium finish, will be Joe Wicks. Wilkes, sorry, Joe Wilkes. Should know that really. Now, having seen the checker flag, coming round to stop on the bricks. Once everyone's stationary and out of the carts, we'll be stopping there. Last driver on, Joe Wilkes, third place. Luke Mottram at the head of the line there in cart number 11. Looking tired. It's a long old race. And there we go, guys. So thanks very much for watching, and we'll be back for the next championship round in a few weeks' time.